Good morning. It is Friday, May 24th. This is my weekly reseller vlog. This is my first clip. It has been a slow week reselling, but personal life wise, it's been pretty busy. Tuesday I went to the Blues game. Yes, they won. They're making it to the final round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yay! And then yesterday, Haley graduated from 8th grade. So that was a little different than how I grew up. When we grew up, 8th grade was graduation was a big deal. We had a separate ceremony at night. Everyone dressed up. You had a party afterwards. So Haley's graduation was during school at lunchtime. Parents were allowed to come, and it was in the gym. And so I went with Holly, and it was a great time. And then I mentioned that to my husband. His was the same way. They did not, their 8th grade graduation was not that big of a deal like it was when I was a kid. I don't know if it was just smaller schools take it more seriously. We only had like 90 kids in our entire class, or in our high school, or was it? No, I think we had 90 kids in our entire class. My husband said he had like 400 in his entire class, so I can kind of understand why. But then Haley's class, there wasn't more than like 50 for sure. There wasn't that many, so she goes to a pretty small school too. Anyway, we did that, and so I have worked, I have listed, I've sold some items. I'm going to the post office right now. There's my bin. It's, you know, not as full as it normally is, but it's still one bin a day. Mondays are usually like 2 bins, but every day is pretty much just 1 bin. I've had to have my husband go with me in the past because I've had 2 or 3 bins, but it's summer and people aren't buying, and that's fine. It's catch-up time. I mentioned that last week. This is a good catch-up time. I'm not going to stop listing. I'm not going to stop trying to sell, but you know what? It's catch-up time. So catch-up time. Oh my God. Talking about ketchup is making me hungry. So anyway, I'm going to the post office, and when I get back, we also picked up, I've mentioned Mound City Auctions before. It's that auction house where you bid online, but you go in person to pick it up. They had a whole bunch of craft stuff. I'll do a quick clip to show you what I picked up, just a brief overview. I'm not going through the stuff yet. It's a whole bunch of like, I don't even know everything I got. It's one of those like a whole bunch of stuff in a box and you hope you got something good. I'm just gonna put that to the side. My aunt is crafty too, and she's coming up next week, so she's gonna help me sort it. I have tons of other stuff to work on, so it'll be more fun going through all that stuff with her. And then what else? It's just like been a slow week. Nothing interesting reselling wise. Knock on wood. I mean, hello, I'm not going to complain about not having any problem buyers. That's always good. Personally, we order our cat food from chewy.com, and it's delivered from Fedex. I totally recommend chewy.com. Not sponsored, so this is just my personal opinion. But one of my cats has to take prescription cat food, so we get them from chewy.com. FedEx delivers us a box like once a month, and then Tuesday, I think, yeah, it was Tuesday, it was the day of the game. It says it showed delivered at noon. That night, Robert's like, did you take the Chewy box off of the front porch? And we're like, no, I didn't touch it. He goes, well, it shows delivered. And I said, you know, why don't you walk to the neighbors? So he looked at the neighbors next to us, and there was nothing on their porch. You know, like if it was delivered to the wrong house. And then he contacted Chewy, and they're a super nice big company, and they're like, we'll send you a replacement, no problem. That's super nice of them. Not everyone will do that. Once it shows delivered, it's delivered. Like, that Chewy did not have to send us a new box, but they did because they're nice. I know one of my Christmas presents was not delivered to me, and luckily we ended up getting it because the person it was delivered to was super nice and let us pick it up, but the company was not going to send us a replacement whatsoever. So not all companies are that nice, and they don't have to be. It's not the company's fault that FedEx, I'm complaining about FedEx. Trust me, UPS and USPS are all the same. They all deliver to the wrong house. But it's not a company's fault that FedEx delivers it wrong. And that is debatable. Everyone has their own opinion on the matter. But if a company can afford a replacement, great. But if it's a smaller company that can't, it's really, you need to go back to the delivery service, because they're the ones who should be held responsible. Doesn't mean they are held responsible, but they should be held responsible. So going back to that, then the next day we had, you know, the Blues one. So we hung up our Blues flag. I don't know why we didn't do it earlier. We just forgot it was in the closet. So we're hanging up our Blues flag on our Blues pole, and I look across the street, and the neighbor's directly behind me. Can't really see it, but the neighbor's directly behind me. Yeah, I'm sitting in my garage. I don't talk and drive at the same time. Anyway, I see a Chewy box on their front porch, and they don't have any pets. I'm friendly with them. They're super nice. They don't have any pets. So I run over there, broad daylight. I look at the box. Sure enough, it has her name on it. So I just pick the box up. It's soaking wet because it rained the day before. Really bad. Like, if you were paying attention to the news in the St. Louis area, there was threats of tornadoes, and it kind of like made national headlines, like the Blues fans won't be stopped by tornadoes. Like, when we were in during the game, they even did an announcement, everyone please stay in your seats, there's really bad weather outside. But nothing ever came of it ever. You know, some trees were knocked down, but overall no one got hurt or by this tornado. I think there was some property damage, but everyone was safe. And so anyway, I go back over and I grab the box, and I don't knock on their door. I mean, we've had this happen before. They don't care if we take something off the porch that belongs to us. I've taken stuff to them. They've brought stuff over to us. We're constantly getting each other's packages, and the box clearly said our address. It's like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Luckily, that is a nice neighbor, because if it would happen to the other side, on this side, they're not nice. I can definitely see them keeping my packages. They are definitely, that's a whole nother story. Like, oh my God, this is a whole nother rant. You want to talk about silly neighbors I can't stand? So they're the ones with the barking dog. Well, it's a single mother and her, I don't know, 24-year-old son who doesn't do anything. And he has a car in the driveway that hasn't moved in like 3 years. So he bought a new car. So they have a 4-car garage, or 2-car garage, I'm sorry, but you can technically park 4 cars on your driveway. And so they have the one car that hasn't moved in 2 years, and then she has a car, and then they have tons of friends coming. And then he just bought an Explorer, and he's decided to park it in front of my house. Does he park it in his driveway? No. Does he park it in front of his house? No. Now he's parking it in front of my house. And I'm like, the first time he did it, there was no other parking spots because people were visiting him. And so it's like, I was like, I hope it was a one-time thing. Well, now every day his car is still there. I'm not even for sure if he's ever even moved it. And guess what? There's now room in front of his house. There's now room in front of his driveway, or in his driveway. But no, he's just leaving it in front of my house. And I can't really say anything because legally he has every right to park on the street. It's a public street. The only thing, if he blocks my mailbox, I can get him towed. But he's not blocking my mailbox. It's just annoying. I can't really say anything because I have no right to. I can just be irked. It's like, why are you parking in front of my house? Park in front of your own house. It's just stupid crap that next time we buy a house, we're buying a house in the middle of nowhere, because it just irritates, because every time I look out the window, I'm like, oh, someone's here. No, it's my stupid neighbor parking in front of my house. So, whatever. And seriously, that's how boring this week is. The most exciting thing that has happened to me is I'm irritated by neighbor. Oh, and the Blues won. Did I mention the Blues won? Woohoo! So yeah, that means playoff time, final round. There'll be 4 games in Boston and 3 games here if it goes all 7 games. So tickets to go to the 7th or the 3rd round is already over $1,500 a person. I don't know. My husband's thinking about it. Like, the Blues haven't been to the Stanley Cup final round in 49 years, so this is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime thing. So we're still debating. We're going to see how the first 2 games go in Boston. If the Blues win at least one of them, I think we're going to break down and buy tickets, because we just don't want it to be a complete shutout, meaning Bruins win all first 4 games. I don't want to spend $3,000 for 2 of us to go to a game that we have no chance of winning. So if the Blues win one of the games for the first 2, then that means they have a very good chance. I think we have a fair chance of beating Boston. Boston's good, don't get me wrong, but the Blues are good too. I think it's a fair matchup, and I think it's anyone's game. So I just hope the Blues really, really want it bad enough and try their hardest. But that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's also a once-in-a-lifetime game. So we'll think about it. There's always someone who can't make it at the last minute, so maybe we'll get a deal. I don't know. Anyway, I really gotta go to the post office. I'm sure I was outside doing this vlog in the yard because it is so beautiful out, but then the nosy lady across the street came out and it was standing on her porch watching me, so I'm like, okay, never mind. Now you get to view the inside of my car, and now I'm gonna go to the post office. Alright, there's my blues flag. There's my annoying neighbor's car that hasn't moved in 5 days. So annoying. You see how he's got plenty of room in his driveway and in front of his house? But no, he parks there. Whatever. Alright, so this is all the items I picked up from Mountain City Auction. So this is a box full of craft stuff, more craft stuff, like 6 or 7 boxes of craft stuff. This box is shoes. I can actually list these this week. I don't need Jane's help to sort shoes, but all this other stuff I'm gonna just hold off and go through it together, and hopefully we discover some goodies for us to use in our junk journals and goodies for me to sell on eBay to make some of this money back. Because as usual, auctions, I paid a little more than I would have liked, but still hopefully enough room to make some money. I don't know, what is this? That's cool. Anyway, I know I can at least make money back on the shoes because those shoes are pretty cool. And what else? That's it. I think I'm going to end this vlog this week. It is Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully everyone has a wonderful holiday weekend. And I know we're going to go to Six Flags. I'm going to go visit Holly and the girls tomorrow. Baking at Haley some cupcakes for her graduation. And then next week is Abby's birthday. I still have to think about that cake. Oh my god. It's going to be a baking week. Anyway, that's it on the reselling front. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you later.